Hello, and welcome to another episode of the United Kingdom of Christ podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Griego, coming to you from the beautiful Denver metro area. I want to thank you for taking your time to join me for this Bible study session. I hope you're finding these episodes as amazing as I do, having the ability to make them for you. If you'd like to connect with me, you can follow me on X, the application formerly known as Twitter. My handle is UK_Christ. I can also be reached via email at uk.christ@outlook.com. You can also call or text me at 720-805-8886. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any comments, questions, concerns, anything I can do to help you within my means. I will definitely go out of my way to try to do that, okay? So today in this Bible study session, we're here in Genesis 19. We're going to go through Genesis 19 verses 30 through 38 through the end of it. So let's go ahead and get started. One moment. Sorry about that. So here we go. So Lot went up from Zoar and stayed in the mountains, and his two daughters with him, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar, and he stayed in a cave, he and his two daughters. Then the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come in to us after the manner of the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and let us lie with him, that we may preserve our family through our father. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. On the following day the firstborn said to the younger, Behold, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drink wine tonight also. Then you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve our family through our father. So they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father. The firstborn bore a son, and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites to this day. As for the younger, she also bore a son, and called his name Benami. He is the father of the sons of Ammon to this day. So, a couple things here. A lot of people that are kind of anti-Bible, anti-faith will say, see, look at what happened, just straight up judging. And I hopefully I explain this to you. You know, the Bible is the most correct historical, I guess, detailed, specific, not rendering, but like, it's just the most historical or correct historical. I can't even think of the word that I'm looking for, but pretty much it just tells you what happened, right? So as people sit here and they want to judge Lot and his daughters for the incestuous situation that happened, I'm not, I'm not saying, hey, let's all have sex with our family. No, that's not what I'm saying. As many of you know, later on in the Bible, it actually says we're not supposed to do these things. It is actually against God's will, God's law, right? And but what I do counter with is, once again, first of all, it's not our responsibility to judge. We don't get to judge Lot. We don't get to judge his daughters. That's out of the question. We don't have that ability. Lot and his daughters are long gone as well, but they're also people of the Lord. But what I am saying, like I was explaining, this being the most historic or accurate historic detail or like explanation or discussion of historical events, right? So in our society, incest, it is illegal still, I believe, in every single state, and hopefully throughout the world. Most countries have it illegal. I haven't done any great digging on that. Some of you may have better eyes of it. But once again, even though something that like would be shameful in our eyes, it still discusses those type of situations. And like I said, the Bible really just a lot of things. Like there's a lot of things. There's prophecy, there's law, there's guidance, and in reality, it's just so much truth. And also think about it from the view of his daughters. They had just seen everything of the world that they knew of at that time, right? Just be destroyed. They thought everything was gone. They thought that there was never going to be anything else, and they were doing this to preserve their family. I'm sure if they knew that other men existed and their fiancés, their son-in-law, or not their son-in-laws, their husbands, their fiancés, had actually been destroyed because they did not listen to Lot and get up and run at that time. And as well, their mom had recently died as well. Grief will make us do extremely weird things. I'm sure a lot of you know this, but once again, it's just the most accurate historical out there, the Bible. So sorry, kind of dwelled on that a little bit more than I should have, but like I said, it's just something that happened, and not saying that this is acceptable or anything like that. You also look at the children and who they ended up coming up to, the Ammonites and Moabites. Most of them end up being in the future different periods of time. Sometimes they're allies, but most of the time they are actually also enemies of the people of the Lord. So, but thank you so much for joining me today. This is the United Kingdom of Christ podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Griego. If you'd like to contact me or connect with me, you can follow me on X, the application formerly known as Twitter. My handle is UK_Christ. I can also be reached via email at uk.christ@outlook.com. You can also call or text me at 720-805-8886. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or comments. Thanks so much. God bless.